Medellin, cost of living.
Guess how much this plate of delicious food cost at a cute restaurant in the fanciest neighborhood in Medellin?
$8.91.
Hey, that question was for the audience.
We're not playing guessing games today. We're showing the cost of living in Medellin. We'll show you our actual expenses, plus a range of what you can expect to pay based on your budget. We loved Medellin for our remote working lifestyle. We felt safe, we had a lot of fun, the food was delicious, and Medellin is incredibly affordable.
Let's talk money.
While in Medellin for 16 days, we took 24 Uber trips. Most cost about $3. None cost more than $27, and that was for an airport ride.
We ate at over 15 restaurants. None cost us over $90 for the two of us. For example, we had a pretty darn good ribeye steak for $16, and it came with 2 side dishes. We even had lunch at a restaurant that only cost $10 for the two of us.
We never paid a cover charge to get into any bars or lounges.
Our Airbnb apartment included weekly maid service, 24/7 security guards, a gym, and a rooftop, all in a safe, walkable neighborhood. Overall, we found we saved 50% to 75% on just about everything compared to living in South Florida.
For example, I had a dress tailored for only $9. That would cost me $50 to $75 where we live. I also got a haircut and a blowout while in Medellin. This cost me normally around $120 in Florida. In Medellin, I paid just $60 with tip.
I'll give you my go-to liquor drink at restaurants and bars that only cost $3. No, not beer. And my favorite delicious coffee-flavored cocktail for about $8. We'll end the video with housing costs because for most of us, housing is our biggest recurring expense. But wait, there's more! We'll give you our easy gift card trick to immediately get 5% cash back on your Airbnb. And we'll tell you the app that returns cash to you for hotel and airline bookings. We're Scott and Maddie. We slow travel the world while making money online. Let's start with the cost of restaurants along with how you can eat out for $5 a day.
Restaurants.
Medellin shocked me. First of all, I didn't realize that I liked Colombian food. We had ajiaco. It's chicken soup with corn in it and served with avocado for $10.35. At a restaurant in the US, the avocado would cost $14 if you dared ask for it on a piece of toast. Freshly squeezed orange juice typically cost us $2 to $3, and a fresh fruit smoothie cost us $5 or $6.
A cappuccino cost about $1.75.
In addition to Colombian food, we had outstanding Italian pasta, Argentinian beef, acai bowls, Vietnamese food, pizza, and more. At one nice restaurant, we had pad thai, pho bo, and a bottle of water for $25.52. This includes the tax and tip.
The best restaurant deal in Medellin is the Menu del Dia. You can eat an entire meal for $5 inside a really cute cafe. It's a lunch special that's not typically on the menu, so you do have to know to ask for it, and it changes from day to day. The best part is the amount of food you get. So you get a main dish, which usually includes some kind of protein, a vegetable, and a side dish, like rice or potatoes. But you also get a soup and a drink like orange juice or some other kind of fresh fruit juice, all for around $5.
And there's something else that makes all of this even more affordable. In the US, we're accustomed to tipping 20% for decent service at restaurants. In Medellin, they add 10% as the standard tip to the bill. Oftentimes, we were asked if we wanted to pay with tip or without. In other words, tipping is optional. We had wonderful service nearly everywhere, so we always tipped. So if you compare this to the US, you're saving 10% on tips and getting pleasant, helpful service.
Nightlife.
We enjoyed bopping around to the music at cool rooftop bars and a few lounges.
You mean dancing?
You dance, I kinda bop, sometimes to the beat.
We didn't go anywhere with a cover charge, and for drinks we paid a range of about $3 to $13 each.
We had a $13 mojito at a very fancy pants place in the very fancy pants Tesoro neighborhood in El Poblado.
It might have been the best mojito I've ever tasted.
It was definitely the best mojito I've ever spilled on my fancy pants. Typically, upscale cocktails cost us between $7 and $10 each in Medellin. My favorite cocktail in Medellin is a carajillo, similar to an espresso martini but a touch sweeter, and that typically costs about $8. These prices are half off the prices we're used to in the US.
Sweetie, you're talking in all caps.
I yell because I can't see that well. So about that $3 drink, I really like the local rum called Ron Medellín. I normally don't like to drink rum straight, but I don't know, for whatever reason, I really like Ron Medellín Tres Años on the rocks, and it only costs $3. Turns out the entire bottle in the supermarket is about $5. And that brings us to
Groceries. When we travel, we cook some meals at home. We shopped at a few supermarkets, and the nicest one was Exito.
examples of grocery prices.
We paid about $2.20 for a dozen eggs,
$2.75 for a pound of chicken fillet,
46 cents for an avocado,
and $1.57 for a container of fresh blueberries. I'm excited to tell you how cheap it is to get delivery. But first, let's talk about
transportation. When we travel, we usually do a mix of walking as much as we can plus Uber. Uber typically costs about $3 or $4. Our most expensive Uber was from the airport to our Airbnb in El Poblado. This was a 38-minute ride and cost $27.
public transportation has a very safe and clean reputation in Medellin. We only took it once. We took the cable car from Acevedo Station up the mountain to Parque RV. This was the most expensive form of public transportation, and we took it mainly for the beautiful treetop and mountain views. It's about a 25-minute ride and costs us about $7.50 per person round trip. Keep in mind that Parque RV is closed on Mondays and sometimes Tuesday if Monday is a holiday. Other public transportation prices depend on how far you go. Expect to pay about 75 cents per person.
Services. Earlier, I shared how crazy and expensive the hair salon and tailor are compared to the US. Now, here's how affordable it is to get food delivered from restaurants. On the DD app, it only costs about $1.25.
Want to stay on your fitness routine? From our research, a gym membership is about $25 per month. There are also free exercise machines outside in certain parks around town. Now remember, all our prices are based on living in the most expensive area in Medellin called El Poblado. You might stay in Laureles or Envigado and find even cheaper prices.
Healthcare. We didn't buy extra healthcare coverage while in Medellin.
But remember, just about everything that involves labor will cost much less in Colombia. This includes doctor visits, blood work, and so on. For example, from our research, if you need dental work that would cost $1,000 in the US, you might pay just $250 in Medellin.
Utilities.
Electricity and internet costs were included in our Airbnb, but our research shows you can expect to pay around $80 a month for electricity, heat, water, and garbage removal. Internet should be under $30 a month. Okay, now the biggest cost in Medellin.
Housing.
Look, if you're coming as a tourist for a few days or even a few weeks, it's tough to get a great deal. With that in mind, we paid $725.30 for 16 days in a studio apartment with a 24-hour security guard, gym, and weekly maid service in the quiet neighborhood of Astorga located in the El Poblado district. But because we're interested in coming back for a few months, we also visited and toured a number of hotels, Airbnbs, and hostels in person to get prices for how much it would cost to stay for a month. The price range we got for a furnished studio apartment or hotel room in the most fun and safe areas of El Poblado was about $1,300 to $1,800 per month. Remember, this rental price would include maid service, internet, laundry, electricity, a gym, sometimes a rooftop pool, and at certain places, breakfast each morning. From our research, local folks might pay about $700 a month to rent an unfurnished one-bedroom apartment in El Poblado. If you're local to Medellin, please let us know your personal experience in the comments.
Ways to save money.
1. We only use credit cards that do not charge a nonsense foreign transaction fee. So that saves us about 3% on everything compared to if you make that common mistake. Credit cards from Capital One and Discover don't charge this fee. We've included links in the description. 2. We save 5% on every Airbnb booking. The trick is to have the Chase Ink Cash Card. With it, you get 5% back at office supply stores like Staples. We buy Airbnb gift cards there and get 5% back.
When we book a hotel or flight,
Or when we have to buy new fancy pants because we spilled the most delicious mojito ever on them,
we see if the brand is on Rakuten. If you skip this simple step, you're missing out on easy money.
4. We flew to Medellin on a non-stop flight on JetBlue. We have the JetBlue credit card, which gives us free checked bags. And we collect JetBlue points that will get us a free flight in the future. We have links to all these money-saving tools in the description.
We loved Medellin, and not just because it's so affordable. The people are kind, the food is delicious, and there are a number of safe districts with a thriving digital nomad community.
Please like, comment, and subscribe, and to never miss another video, join our email list on touchdownmoney.com.